Hello, everyone. My name is Garrett,
This is Jabin.
and this is Cross Country Comments. Welcome back, you guys. I do apologize for last week. We both had some complications going on. I had some family in town. I went on vacation. Jabin got sick, and it was just a whole big mess, and we couldn't get a episode out. And we've both been very, very busy and had stuff going on in life the last couple of days. So we're actually recording this the night before it goes up, just because we've, like I said, had a lot going on. But if I'm a little quiet, I apologize. I have family sleeping in the other room. So we are just going to jump straight into it. I think, Javen, any thoughts before we get started?
Yeah, and then just one thing that I'm also going through right now that might like mess up the podcast maybe, is that I'm actually moving somewhere else from where I'm at now. Not too far, just letting everybody know. Not too far to where I'm at now, just a couple hours away. But yeah, I'm having some situations. So just because we might be a little delayed or don't put episodes out, it might be just because I'm in the process of moving. So just letting everyone know.
Yeah, we're going to try to record multiples when we can record, just so we have the backups in case he's not able to. But in the case that we don't have those and he's not able to, we may miss a week here and there. Just a heads up. Just because podcast is a ton of fun and we love putting it out regularly, but life does happen. And that takes priority. So yeah, we're super excited to get into this though. So the first topic we're going to touch on is actually something we have not touched on in this podcast before, and I don't know if any of you would have thought we would have. So you guys know we're nerds, obviously. That very obvious from our content. One of the things that we are nerds about that we have not talked about yet is anime, actually. And quick backstory, I got into it about 3 years ago now. I got Jabin into it about 2 years. 2 years ago? Something.
Actually, you got into it 4 years ago.
It was 4.
I jumped back into it 3. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man, time flies. But so we have been into that for a while. One of the shows that it became like one of my favorites, and then I didn't like one season, and then the newest season I loved is My Hero Academia. Jabin disagrees with me on that. But
I swear.
My Hero Academia is one that I actually introduced to him when he came and visited a few years back. And we have been loving it, keeping each other updated. I was not a huge fan of season 5. That's kind of what we're going to be talking about is season 6 that came out. We're going to kind of be discussing our thoughts on it. If you have not watched anime because, it's for children, stop it. Go check it out. Because it's really not especially.
If you watch SpongeBob, then you can definitely watch anime. Stop.
Especially this new season, not for children specifically. But we absolutely loved it. I'll get my thoughts out first on season 5 because we're going to be mostly touching on season 6. That's our first topic today. Just because it just ended. So I think it completely ended, right? Like the season's over?
It's done. Yeah, the season's over.
Okay. So we as far as season 5 goes, I was not the biggest fan of season 5. It's not the worst show I've ever seen. But I feel like in the first part of season 5, they went through the training arc. And that was good. It was entertaining. I liked it. It introduced Deku's Black Whip, which was awesome. It introduced some characters like Mudman and stuff like that, whose powers are off the chain. Shinso kicked butt in that season. So there was a lot of upsides to it. I just feel like that was like, okay, training, yeah. It was cool. The My Villain Academia, it was good. Honestly, it was not as good as I would have hoped. I liked the arcs, especially Twice's arc. Twice had one of the best arcs in the villains. The villain Redestro, he was a little underwhelming in my opinion. He just did not pack as much of a threat, as much of a punch as I would have liked. Um, Seeing all of them work together was fun, and seeing all the individual arcs were great. It just didn't catch my fancy. It just wasn't what I wanted from My Hero. Like, it didn't have hardly any stakes. It just had a little bit of growth here and there.
That's and that's why I disagree with you so hard. Because first of all, yeah, Redestro isn't supposed to be a huge threat. He's supposed to have a lot of resources, and it's not. He's not supposed to look as a threat. It was supposed to look like an asset to to the League of Villains. That was the whole point of that point, is to see the League of Villains take over what Redestro already had. That's why I like that, and it didn't last too long, which I'm grateful for, because, well, first of all, I did like the League of Villains versus Redestro's army. That was sick to the core. I was grossed out. That felt like a threat. I don't know how you don't like look at that and be like, oh shoot, they might lose, because everyone was getting clapped. Okay, but I'm putting that to the side because you have brain damage. And then when it comes to not having, again, I'm gonna go into the threat thing, not feeling like there's a threat. We're learning about the threat. That's the point, is that we're getting a different point of view now. We're not looking through Deku's eyes. We're not looking through Endeavor's eyes. We're not looking through All Might's eyes. We're looking through the villain's eyes. So we're seeing the threat. We're not feeling the threat because, we're following the villain's story. So we're supposed to feel safe with them just because they're doing, what they need to do. So we're seeing this threat commence, because now you're supposed to make it seem like, oh shoot, they just made the end game of villains just now. Like that's how I felt at the end of season 5. It was like, oh, the paranormal fret's going crazy. I was like, oh, I don't know how they're gonna win. And then the fact that season 6 jumps right into the meat of that makes it so much more sweeter. I feel like if they did not do season 5 the way they did it, season 6 would not be as close to being good, because season 5 made me understand Shigaraki way more, and his backstory is one of the best in the show, in my opinion. Is one of the best in the show, and the fact that he's connected to One for All, not just All for One, but One for All, makes it even better too. So I feel like it's very heavy on the narrative front, and it was very well thought out. I rewatched it again. Oh my goodness. People need to stop hating on that season, because Redestro isn't supposed to be some crazy villain that's next on the roster. He's just supposed to be a puny asset for Shigaraki to take over, because it's ultimately about Shigaraki. That's why we don't see a lot of Redestro getting down. Redestro's quirk, though, off the chain. The stress, I love it. And seeing them recover from that stress is awesome. And just seeing all these different pieces of the puzzle, like All for One's little Gigantomachia, and seeing how Shigaraki needs to beat him in order to take him over because he doesn't feel like he's worthy. Um, Seeing the League of Villains suffer and actually see what they have gone through trying to be the League of Villains, and also trying to remember why they became the League of Villains, was so like fascinating. See them, what they forgot, what they wanted to as a team or individually, and that's why I liked everyone's character development. Because even I forgot his name, but even the frog looking dude had character development. Like all of a
Spinner.
sudden we knew his story. Exactly, we knew his story, and they went on for it in the sixth season too. So I don't know why I literally don't know why no one has given me a straight answer of why they did not like season 5, but I love it so much because we got to see the threat build up, and on top of that, we got to humanize these humans, because ultimately they're doing this for a reason, and now we know their reason, and it makes us sympathize for them. So when Hawks does what he does in the sixth season, we're like, what the heck? Because now we kind of like the villains. So that's what season 5 did it. All y'all got brain damage. Let's move on.
Yeah, all right. I will
No,
say,
no, no. I will take your opinion into account, because right now I just put your opinion to the side. if you could give me a straight logical answer of why season 5 is not as good, I feel like it's better than season
If you say season 3, I will
3.
come through.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going there. It's not as good as season 4. Season 4, that's my baby. Season 3, yeah, it's better than season 3, 2 and 3. But other than that, nah, bro. You need to stop hating on season 5.
All
There's
right, we're
if you could give me a logical reason of why season 5 just isn't good, then I'll listen. But I have not heard one straight answer. Hit me with season 6. Let's go.
yeah, season 6. Also, we're gonna have words later about better than season 3. Anyway, so
Okay.
season 6. So the reason I love season 6 so much, here's the thing: I love great story, but if you can give me a great story with great animation, and on top of that, like some of the greatest dialogue I've heard in the show, like, and the I will say one of the greatest quote unquote plot twists in an anime I've ever seen. Not like, here's the thing: there are certain shows that are known for their plot twists. Like, there's a show called Erased. There's an anime called Steins Gate. I haven't seen Steins Gate yet, but those kind of stuff are like known for their twists. Thing about My Hero is you're not expecting a twist. It's a hero show. So the fact that in season 6 the entire hero society falls is, and the fact that Deku reveals to everyone his power, the fact that he goes into vigilante mode, like, if you didn't read the manga, it blew your mind. And as far as like the beginning of season 5, the fact that they jump straight into it, you think Shigaraki might be quote unquote dead by the 3rd episode because he's knocked out of his tank. The fact that when he wakes up, he kills like 3 of the top 10 heroes in an instant. And then he's after Deku. I mean, the play action does not stop in season 6. And oh my gosh, I will say, as far as season 6, I'm 2 episodes behind. I did not watch the last 2 episodes yet.
If I'm being honest, you're not missing a lot. It's just a lot of talking.
Okay.
It's literally just showing how people need to realize who Deku is and why they need to keep him in the facility. If anything, there's no spoilers. If I'm being honest,
Yeah.
it just shows the connection between Deku and All Might, and seeing
gotcha.
how Stain plays in the picture. Like, he doesn't do anything crazy either, but it's just everyone coming together and just seeing what they can do. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So I hadn't watched those, but the nonstop action, the sacrificial moments where, you know, Bakugo flies in front of the freaking, I don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
the veiny blades. Flies in front of those. You see freaking Endeavor looks like he's gonna die. The Dobby reveal that he's his son. All the emotion put into the voice acting.
Mr.
Aizawa cutting his leg off. Like, we watch it dubbed. I will say, me and Jabin both watch it dubbed. And we love it because the voice acting is out of this world.
And it's not just because it's in English. I just hate the Japanese stands that are like, oh, you're supposed to watch it the way it's supposed to be. The reason why we watch it dubbed is not only for the English, but it's just because they put way more emotion into the English version. And on top of that, the voices are very distinct and very different from one another to where you can't mistake each voice. Like, for example, Endeavor, I feel like in the Japanese version is a little too high. In the English version is very deep and very controlling, and it's really his character. Like, you really cannot distinct him from All Might. You know what I mean? So, like, in the Japanese version, they sound a little similar. So we just like how distinct each voices are in the English version. Go ahead. Sorry, I hate it when people go.
Agreed. I hate the dub and sub argument. Like,
watch it how you want to.
We're watching the same show. It's the same story, the same show. It just sounds different a little. Like,
yeah.
It's, why are you going to hate on me for watching a show in my own language? Anyway.
Yeah.
So the fact that Aizawa gets his leg cut off, Deku goes ham trying to take over or trying to defeat Gosh, I've said so many names in the last 2 minutes. My brain just fried. Uh,
Shigaraki.
Thank you. The fact that he just goes ham trying to defeat Shigaraki, almost breaking his body again. Um, and
And
then,
he's manifesting all his powers now.
yeah, in that moment, in that one fight, he manifests Danger Sense, and didn't he manifest
Flight.
Float? That's right. So he manifested 2 quirks in one fight, and then the meeting with all the users of One for All inside his mind, and that conversation was just like
and the connection with All Might's vestige, and the fact when All Might touched Deku's hand and he got all of the vestiges memories like in his head on that 1 second is so like, oh my god, it's so I don't know, like they in the last 2 episodes they explain how All Might felt it, like they see like the connection, because in the episode they say that All Might's feelings and memories go into the vestige, but he doesn't. But the vestige doesn't go to him. But at that one moment when Deku was in the hospital, remember that part when he touched him, the vestige came inside All Might for that 1 second. So I was like, oh, that's too good. That's so good.
It's just, I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about part 1 of season 6, and then I'll let you touch on part 2 because I don't want to take this whole time up. But
no, you're good.
I mean, Gigantomachia entering the fray, the fact that Toga was actually seeming like she would have turned good if Uraraka didn't do what she did, if she didn't say what she said, she might have turned to the good side. Oh my gosh, the fact that Mr. Compress even had a story. Mr. Compress freaking saved Shigaraki and the whole team. Like I said, the fact that Best Genius is still alive. Like, the fact that Mirio came back with his powers.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was crazy. And the fact that, I mean, that means that Eri is able to use her power correctly now. And I'm just nerding out about the whole thing right now. It is, that's first part of season 1 already put it into my top 10 seasons of anime of all time, and I've watched all of Naruto, mind you. So it already put it there for me, and season 2 I think moved it up to my top 5. So I'll shut up now. Go ahead.
And on top of that, touching on those parts, and I'm okay with the deaths. Like I'm okay with, well, I'm obviously not okay with it, but I'm content with how they went out. Like Midnight dying and how her death went, like very gruesome, but it made that clump of students in Class A when they were in the jungle with
Gigantomachia?
With Yamamo as like the leader of everything. Momo Yaoyorozu. When she was like the leader of that little team, like it made that their little like story trying to take down Gigantomachia even better, and it made it feel like what they did didn't even matter later on until we find out that the sleeping stuff just kicked in. No, season 6 is the best season of all of My Hero by far. We can't argue about that. It's not because they did all the spectacular stuff. It's because they built up in each season. They built it up correctly for us, and in each season they gave us something to look forward to make us keep watching it, to where we had to watch it. You know what I mean? Like say what you need to say for season 5, but admittedly, that Best Genius scene wouldn't have hit as hard if it weren't for season 5. You feel me? So there's always a little bit of something. There's always a little bit of something, whether you like it or not, that they give you in order to make you watch it. You know, long to make season 6 the best season by far. I've been waiting because before the season came out, Garrett and I were waiting because we accidentally saw a picture of Deku in his vigilante outfit, and our jaws dropped. Ever since then, we've not touched anything to try to figure out why he looks like that. The fact that we finally get to see why he looks like that is just chef's kiss, and I only wish that we got a My Heroes One Justice 3 based off of that, just so that we can like get all of his powers. But but yeah, it's just amazing overall. I can't stop geeking about it. Even the new girl that has the sharpshooter elbow,
That's
that was even awesome.
what's her
Um,
name?
I need to log her in my
It's
notebook.
Lady Nagant.
Thank you, Lady Nagant. She was even though this was the first time for seeing her in this season, and she only got a couple episodes. She was even awesome, and the way she tried to take on Deku, and the fact that it made Deku look so much more like a bad A, made it even like better. Um, and I love, oh my goodness, I love it when people are in crisis. You know this. I love it when people suffer because it gives opportunity for character development. So not just people, like just like the specific characters that we're following in general, but the entire country of Japan is struggling. And I love it. I love that a lot of heroes gave up on the people. I love that they gave up just because there's no money more involved. I love that like big heroes that actually were like in the top five were actually leaving because they couldn't do it anymore just because people didn't believe in them or so on and so forth. And it makes you really see the actual heroes that'll do anything thick or thin. And it makes it so much more impactful seeing those heroes do what they can. And not just the heroes, but the students on top of that. And not even just from UA, but even from Shiketsu or from that other one where your homeboy is at, the one that they fought in for the provisional license exam, the dude in the green outfit,
Oh,
the vibrational dude.
yeah, I forget the name of their
Yeah,
school.
but we get to see him do his thing when all that crap happened and when Deku comes in and whatnot. Like we could see him still do like hero stuff. So it's just very it makes this show is really good at making emotional impact to people to where it makes you cry at a lot of points, so where it makes you want to feel for these characters. And I feel like that's why personally it's so good dubbed, just because you could tell like the utter sheer of suffering, emotional damage, scarring, intensity in these performances. And the writing for the stories is just impeccable. Like it's hardly any flaws. There's flaws in each season. We both can agree on that,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take away from the overall story that makes you want to follow it. And it's I can't stop praising My Hero enough for doing that, especially with this season. And it ended so it didn't end like cliffhangery, like, oh my god, what's gonna happen now? It ended like, wow, okay, we get to rest, but there's still a big job to do. I wonder what they're gonna do, and it gives us like a break because each season we're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? 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 But now we finally get to like rest and be like, okay, okay, I need a minute, but I wonder what happens. But hold on, it gives you time to be like, okay, we'll continue the seventh season, just chill out. Um, yeah, My Hero, one of the greatest anime of all time, and it's not because it's popular. It's popular for a reason, and it's just because it's that freaking good.
And I mean, some points in part two that I want to point out. I mean, I noticed something that when he went into vigilante status, he, I mean, when he started, he was still kind of his happy-go-lucky, not so much so, but like you could see it in there. Like when All Might brought him the pork cutlets, like his eyes went all, the U's. Oh, thanks. If you think about it, that is the last time you see him smile in the entire season. Is when All Might hands him those pork cutlets.
And I like that Bakugo pointed that out too. He's like, "Hey, when was the last time you smiled? Like you're looking ridiculous. Why aren't you smiling?" And well, obviously in his own way, but it shows how, again, it just shows the emotional impact that this all had on Deku. Like the only time that he had the opportunity to smile like that was when he was saving that rabbit girl. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where people were just bullying on her just because they thought she was insane.
Yep.
That could have been the time for him to smile, but the fact that he put on his mask that looks like he's fake smiling says so much. And I love that too, because the reason why he wanted to be a hero in the first place is because he just wanted to see everyone happy and smiling, because the number one hero was smiling. He wanted to be that hero for everyone. And the fact that he's not shows you that there's something really wrong with him and that he needs to evaluate himself, and that he might have forgotten what kind of hero he wanted to be. And that's one of the scariest things. That's when I was watching it. That was one of the scariest things to feel, is that I feel like he forgot why he wanted to do this in the first place. He knows he has this duty, like he's gonna do it like whatsoever. It's in his psyche. That's who he is. But why is he doing it? And he's not focusing on the why. And no matter how powerful he is, he's at this point he's more powerful than All Might by far. But all that doesn't matter if you don't, if you don't actually have a goal. And his goal is so shot. Like I feel like at times he even forgot why he was doing all this to take down Shigaraki and All For One. I feel like he forgot, just because at these points it's just he just looks so damaged and down. Even when he was fighting Class A, it was so broken. The way they tried to take him down was so sweet. Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
so good. And I
that
mean,
was so nice.
it even at the end of that episode where Class A tries to take him down, and they finally do, using what, 8 of their different quirks.
Yeah,
So they finally get him down to the ground, and the fact that Bakugo goes up to him, someone he's been bullying for his entire life, and basically says, "Hey, I was jealous of you the entire time because you didn't have what I have, but still made it look better." And that's, if you think about it, that's the first time he ever calls him Izuku in the entire show. When he apologizes to him, he bows and calls him Izuku, and that's the first time he's done that.
And it gets more impactful with the next 2 episodes. With one of the episodes, I'm just gonna say this part, that it's funny because Bakugo says something and he says Izuku, and he's like trying to like give him more respect, and the Deku's like, it's okay if if it's hard for you to say Izuku, Deku's fine. And then obviously Bakugo's like, just tell me what to do or whatever, like his thing. But it's cool seeing that Bakugo, he's not stupid. Like, it's because you knew me, like the first 3 seasons of My Hero, I hated Bakugo. I had a nickname for him that I'm not gonna say on the show.
It started with Baku, but it didn't end with Bakugo.
Right. So I had a nickname for him, not nice in any way, but each season it shows you why he's acting like that. But on top of that, it shows you that he's not an idiot. It shows you that he's not stupid, that he's not naive, and he's not like he's very alert about what's going on. And that's why he was in the know for One for All and All for One, because he was alert. He's such, and those kind of people are the best people, like in general, like in the real world, to live around, is just observant people. And the fact that he's such an observant person, I feel like will make him one of the greatest heroes of all time, just because he knows what's going on and he tries to figure it out like that. And if he doesn't, he's gonna freestyle until he figures it out. And he's such a amazing character. And the character development from trying to realize that more from himself, but at the same time showing us, since we didn't know him at first, showing us who he is it's such a cheat. Because when you think about it, when you have a character, we're supposed to know all about them, then we're supposed to see him grow. They cheated with the show. He hasn't grown technically until like the 3rd or 4th season, really. But in those like times of when he's not growing, they give us different sheds of who Bakugo is, and it makes us want to know more about him. And it's such a cheat, and it's such a good cheat, because they played it so safe doing that, and it works so well. That I don't writers need to get more credit with how they do this stuff, just because like people don't notice how much thought, and sometimes accidental thought, goes into not just the story, but the actual characters themselves, and seeing how they react in different situations. I feel like Bakugo is one of the most well-written characters in all of anime, just because of that. Um, yeah, season 6, they hit everything with a stamp and said, "Wait for more." And there's literally nothing else I can say. I can just go into more detail, but it just feels just like word vomit at this point, just because I'm just gonna keep praising it.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
I mean,
there's nothing else for me to say. Yeah.
we're both along that path right now in season 6.
All
Um,
right.
so I'll let you go ahead and introduce. Since I introduced season 6, I'll let you introduce the next topic. We are going a bit off of anime here and into a zone we actually have not delved too much into.
So we've only had like a shred of this because of Star Wars games coming out, but this is completely different. We're going into Disney territory, but not just Disney video games. So we all know that Fortnite, Apex Legends, Overwatch, these free games now are probably the biggest in the world. Uh, Probably like, Roblox, Minecraft, whatever. But what all these games have in common, except for Minecraft, they're free, but a lot of the times before it comes out with Disney, in fact, you need to pay in order to play these games for the beta versions. Now, for me, I signed up for Disney Speedstorm. I signed up for the alpha testing, and I played it on my computer. It barely ran, but with what I saw, it was really fun. I only got to play like 5 minutes of it. I still have the Steam key too. Probably not gonna work anyway. But after that, they said that okay, cool. The game's gonna be free, and Garrett knew that too. But then now they have it in the stores, and we can play it right now, but for $30. And that's a problem for Garrett and I, because it's supposed to be a free game. It's supposed to be like Overwatch and Fortnite. It's just supposed to be, if you want to buy stuff, you can. But ultimately, it's supposed to be a free service game. And they're trying to milk out as much money as they can so that people can get these founder packs and ultimate packs and golden edition alpha beta diamond packs, like for $100, just so that they can milk as much Disney as they can with it. And Speedstorm being one of the biggest ones, another one being Dreamlight Valley. We just wanted to talk about this just because I think I can speak for the both of us. It's irritating because we hear that it's gonna be free, and we're like, okay, cool. We'll determine if we want to spend money on this. But they're really, really pushing out, spend it now so you can play it now, kind of thing. So, Garrett, your thoughts on it ultimately?
So this subject irritates me.
Yeah.
Mostly because one of the games that so back in 2008, I want to say, there was a game released. So I used to live in California. That's very obvious. Cross country comments. I moved across. You guys know all of our backstory if you've listened to us at any point. I used to live in
Yep.
California, moved out to Georgia about 3.5, 4 years ago. I used to go to Disneyland with my family all the time. When we couldn't go, I had an Xbox Connect. And there was a game on the Xbox Connect called Disneyland Adventures.
Hmm.
I absolutely loved that game because they put so much detail into copying every little piece of how Disneyland actually looked. Like, I could go down an alley and be like, "Oh yeah, you turn left here and here's a shop to the right that you can normally go into, and then you have Pirates of the Caribbean right here." It was so much fun for me to just explore Disney and almost like,
Hmm.
and interact with the characters and do rides and da 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 da, all this different stuff. Part of my childhood. So I heard they were coming out with Disney Dreamlight Valley. And I was like, okay, a mix between Disneyland Adventures and The Sims. I could get down with that.
Hmm.
And so I was looking forward to it. I mean, not that I'm like a huge Disney fan, especially with what they're doing these days. We're not going to get into that. But it's that kind of game where I was like, this is gonna give me that feeling from when I was a kid. Yes. And of course I knew there was gonna be a beta version. So I was like, you know what? I'm not mad. They gotta test the game, maybe sell a founder's pack. I am not mad at that at all. The part that I am mad at is that I believe the beta version came out in October. I think
Very, 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 very long ago. Let me just say that.
September or October of last year. And a beta version is only supposed to go for a couple months at most so that they can work out all the bugs. It's still in beta, and it is the end of April right now. So it's like, if you're going to announce a game is free to play, and then you bring it into beta phase, and you have people playing it, working out the bugs, adding stuff, great, that's fine. No one's upset at that. But have an announced date for, hey, it's going to be in beta for this long, and you can get these exclusive items if you get the beta, and then it's going to be free on this date. Like, don't just be like, oh yeah, it's in beta. I don't know. We'll just, keep going until we get it completely right.
Do you know what I think it is? And this is what irritates me to the core. This is my theory, but it feels so true just because of what they're doing. And I'll give you some examples. I feel like this is the base game, and let me tell you why. For example, for multiverses, it's still in beta right now. It makes no sense, but it's so playable.
Yeah.
And they already added battle passes to it. Like, they're in the second season now. I've been playing, and they just added Rick and Morty into it, but they're adding characters and different stuff. Like, it's an actual functional, like, service, like, playing game right now, to where you can play online and all that. I don't see what the problem is. And I think they're just saying that it's beta just because it sounds better, and they want more people to try to buy what they have. And if I'm being honest, you can buy Dreamlight Valley. Like you said, it's on beta right now. Like, it's not free to play yet, but you can buy it on every single console, including the Switch. If something's going to be out on the Switch, the game's done. And they're saying that is not like exactly done yet. Same thing for Speedstorm. I went on the Switch. You can buy it right now. So my thing is, if you can buy it on the Switch, then the base game is out. And I feel like they're faking it, saying that it's beta. We still have to work on it. But it's so funny because with Dreamlight Valley, the game, from when I see it, it's technically finished. They're just adding DLC and making it seem like it's the base game, because they just added a whole new world in Dreamlight Valley now. They said, okay, for the people who finished Dreamlight Valley already, we added something else in. You see what I mean? They're making it seem like it's beta, but it's really not. I feel like it's just that's the base game, and they're just saying it's beta just so that they can make people feel like, oh no, there's so more to come. No, this is an easier way to just put DLC in there. That's how I'm seeing it. It's just easier to make more DLC, make more money off of it. And that's what irritates me, is that the game is already released. Just stop lying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want us to pay for it, let us know.
Yeah, just say, hey, the game's finished. Plans changed. It's no longer free to play. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, will I be a little upset? Maybe a little bit, but okay.
But we're gonna buy it.
Yeah, thanks for announcing it. Now I'll pay the $30 and buy it. It's a money grubbing thing, because every game in the past, even if it releases quote unquote unfinished, take No Man's Sky, for example. You guys, you remember the No Man's Sky game, right?
I do.
So No Man's Sky, I bought at launch. It was horrible because there was so much missing, so much underpromised, whatever. I dropped the game for years. I literally picked it up again. I still have it like bought, but I picked it up maybe 3 months ago and started playing it again. And it is incredible. It's such a good game. But here's the thing. They set a release date, said it's going to cost this much. Boom, released it. Game sucked. They said, we'll work on it. And they worked on it and did updates and did expansions, all this different stuff. And since the game sucked, they were like, you know what? We're not doing any DLC paid. All of this is free.
And that's what Cyberpunk is doing too. And that's why I respect them for that too.
Exactly, and that's a good model. But here's the thing: Disney has so much time and money to work on these things that it's like just set a date, whether it's paid or not. Set a date for it to come out. Let it come out. Read the reviews. See what people say. Fix your game for what needs to be fixed. Start adding DLCs if you want, and people love it. Just don't make empty promises, because it's when you make it's. Oh, let's put it this way. It's this. I don't know why I thought of this example. It's like a mother telling her kid, "Okay, you know what? You can have ice cream when all your chores are done." And she has a list of chores for him.
Oh my god, yeah.
And he starts doing the chores, but she keeps writing them after he does one. She
Yeah.
keeps adding another one after he does one. So he never actually gets the ice cream. He just keeps doing it. I really kind of bad example now that I'm thinking about it. But
that's a fantastic example, trust me.
it's like, okay, so you promised us a free game, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Even the people who bought it, I bet, are kind of waiting, because when it becomes free to play, they're probably going to update it more. But you keep promising this stuff, and then nothing. After work, after people buy it, after updates, after whatever, it's like, okay, are you planning to release it free to play when no one's interested anymore? Like, if you keep going on this path, that's exactly what's going to happen. Everything that you're like, oh yeah, we're just working on it. Guess what? If you work on it for too long, people are going to forget the game exists.
And I think that's why like Disney needs to stop looking at Fortnite and being like, hey, let's do what we can with multiple genres of games in the Fortnite format. And there's only a few select games that I feel like works well that way. Is Call of Duty,
Apex.
Fort Apex, Fortnite, Fall Guys, even, and Overwatch. That so far, those are the only ones that are perfect with that kind of genre
Formula.
of that. And most of those, yeah, formula, and most of those are shooter games,
And they're all free.
and most of them are free. And
Oh,
that's
all
the
but
other
Call of
thing
Duty.
is
But yeah.
that well, if we put Call of Duty Mobile in the mix, which works fantastically
And
well, if I'm
Warzone.
being
Warzone's
honest,
free too.
Warzone and Warzone 2. Like, see, this is come on, guys. Like you, come on, like this is if you're trying to do a format like that, then you need to do it the way they started out. And the way they started out was an early access. You did not have to buy anything. When Fortnite came out, you didn't have to buy anything if you didn't want to. They weren't pushing it, they just wanted people to play it. When Apex first came out, you didn't have to buy anything, you just wanted to play it. Fall Guys came out, you played the beta version and you got your little skin or whatever. Was it free? Yes. Did you have to buy anything? No. And still thousands of people are playing it till like right now at this moment. Call of Duty, obviously, you know, if it has Call of Duty in the name, anyone's gonna get up on it. But when
Yeah.
Call of Duty Mobile came out, there was no battle pass at first because they wanted to make sure everyone can play correctly. So don't make us pay for something that might not even be good. Like, actually make it free. If it's not working out, pull back on the servers and be like, okay, let's fix it. Give us a couple free stuff to be like, sorry for the inconvenience. Here's Captain Jack Sparrow as a racer and drive off or whatever. You know what I mean? And then make the battle pass so that if we want to buy money for it, then we can. Give us that option. Don't make it mandatory. And they're trying to make it mandatory. Like, if you want to play it, like, and I feel like this is what sucks, is that I know that it's not early access anymore. And it keeps saying that it is. It's not. If anybody can buy it and just play it, it's not early access. It's released. Stop calling it early access. If it was early access to the game, I would feel like they would pick like a select few for like a server and then do what they need to do. But
Yeah.
they're not doing that. And it's like, ugh. I feel like they're just the changing the game of what early access actually is, because every time you see something that's actually early access, it feels like early access. It doesn't feel like early access. when you get Speedstorm or Dreamlight Valley. It feels like an actual base game that I'm paying for, and I don't want it to be that way if it wasn't meant to be that way.
Yeah. Like if you're going to make it a free to play format, there are multiple people who have done that well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh. Take, for example, Sims 4. I mean, don't get me wrong. You still have to pay for Sims 4. It's like $20, sometimes on sale for like 5. Okay. So you pay $5. Great. Even if they announced, okay, it's not free to play, but you're going to have to pay like $10. Fine.
Fine.
But fine, I'll do it. That's fine, I'll do it. And then just release packs. Be like, oh, here's the Pirates of the Caribbean pack, and it adds a new little land and 5 characters. Even if they went that direction, okay, I'm chilling. I'll just buy packs whenever I see one that I really want, and I'll have the base game, and I essentially build the game for how I want it to be.
I just thought about something.
What?
Why don't they just make it like Mario Kart? It's not so terrible. Mario Kart probably it should not be this much. This it should not cost this much, and yet we still buy it. Mario Kart is $60.
Has been forever.
The base game forever has been $60. Did we buy it?
Yeah.
On sale?
Nope.
Do they have sales?
Nope.
Did we still buy it?
Yep.
And look at me. I bought the booster pack. You know what I mean? Like that's it, we don't mind spending money for a game that we know we'll enjoy. Just don't lie to us or hold that back from us for so long to where we won't be interested in it anymore. And Disney is doing it all wrong. If I'm being honest, they're doing a lot of stuff wrong. 'Cause it's starting in 2021. I feel like ever since 2021 or 2020, they just went with everything: video games, movies, TV shows.
Because I mean, even if you look back at like, I don't know, 10 years ago at video games that Disney released. Even further back, let's go even further. The original Cars game, the Finding Nemo game, freaking Disney Infinity, like
Goat, and Goat, because of the 3 versions.
Exactly.
Goat.
So
and Goat.
it's like you I mean, there was a few things wrong with some Disney Infinities, but those are nitpicks.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the formula was great. And guess what? They based it off of Skylanders. They 100% based off of Skylanders, but it still worked because they did it right. Yep. They told you what you were getting for a set price, and they added to that instead of, oh yeah, it'll be free, but we're just going to keep adding stuff for the for like the unreleased version officially, and you have to pay to see all this stuff we're putting in it. But until then, you just have to wait. Why? That makes.
Do you know what Disney's gonna do next?
Oh Lord, tell me.
Do you know what they're gonna do next? I'm prophesying this. You know what they're gonna do?
What?
We're gonna get a Disney console.
Oh no,
dude, we're gonna get a Disney console. Dude, we're gonna so much of a Disney console. I'm actually surprised the DS, the first one, isn't a Disney console. They made Disney Gamer. Remember that thing where you were able to like design your character or whatever with certain Disney games? I feel like we're gonna get a Disney console. Dude, we're gonna get one.
I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Disney's great, and Disney's decent, and that's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not downing Disney too much because they are part of my childhood. I mean, I have favorite Disney movies. I love Marvel, the whole deal. I mean, it's part of my childhood. It's part of what I love. But decisions that they've been making recently, and like you said, in regards to gaming and movies and company decisions in that regard, have just been off the rails. And if they get to the point to where they make their own console, it's like, stick to what you're good at. I mean, yeah, expand a little bit. You make games, you make movies, you make theme parks. What else do you need? Like, all you would
More.
be exactly. And if you look at previous things of consoles outside of Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, how many consoles have actually succeeded outside of those three? I'm talking recently.
Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo,
Can't think of,
Steam.
and that's not even a console. That's a computer application. And
Yeah.
they have a Steam Deck, but that's just like
I was talking about Steam Deck, but that's just a little computer.
it's a mobile computer.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Like, if you look back at Soulja Boy, he released his own console. It did not go well. So
I forgot about that.
yeah, it did not go well. So it's like, I know we're kind of going off topic just a little bit here, but it's at the point where it's just like, man, keep your promise to what you said the game is gonna be. And if you release it and it's not what you said it's gonna be, do right by the fans by giving us a little bit of compensation and fixing your game, or releasing it as it was supposed to be released, with or without the price tag that you said it was going to be. Don't just leave us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, just either do these games right or just give us more Star Wars games. Either or. I don't want both.
I will say Jedi Survivor is absolutely fantastic. No, absolutely nothing against that.
But that's what I'm saying. Disney so far, when Disney took over Star Wars, they've had little fails when it came to Star Wars in video games.
Battlefront 2.
In video games. No,
At launch.
I count that as a win.
At launch.
At launch? I'm not talking about at launch. I mean just overall.
All right.
They haven't failed when it came to Star Wars video games. The first Battlefront was fantastic. Second Battlefront was even better. Star Wars Squadrons was okay. Fallen Order, amazing. Survivor, even better than that. I think they did a couple. Hold on, I have my PlayStation up. I feel like they did a couple more. They had,
and we're talking just since Disney took over, right?
Vader Immortal.
Oh, fantastic game.
Galaxy's Edge.
Amazing.
So this just shows that they're able. You know what they're able to do. Just do it. And it's like you know how to make a fantastic game, and you know the exact people to hire. Just do it right, and don't just do it just strictly for Star Wars or Marvel, because even Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, were pretty good games. Not like over the top fantastic, but they were pretty good. And Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales were freaking amazing when they cooperated with them. So you're able to do it with these other franchises, but when it comes to like their own, they're failing now. And it's like, come on, guys, just get it together. And it's just because they want a for sure money grabber, and that's what sucks, is that it's not even about like, is it good? It's only, is it good to grab money with?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, whatever.
Oh, it's the same way. And I will say this. There's, I think this will be one of the last things I touch on here. There's an app that they have out called Disney Magic Kingdoms. And yep. I'm playing that right now. I've been playing it for a couple months. And I mean, it's fun. And I mean, it's one of those games where you send people on tasks, and 8 hours later you come back, you get the rewards, you build people up, you level people up, whatever. And you build your own Disney park, essentially. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But the progress, they made the progress so minuscule. I mean, I probably haven't made a major step in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on it every day, at least for a couple minutes. But you could go into the shop and spend $20 and you get like 4 characters that you would have to wait till a special event to get. Buy chests to gamble to see if you get those characters. And then if you want more of the magic to unlock more of the park, you either have to like take this for example. A little section of the park is between like 25,000 and like 80,000 magic to unlock. Each character task, at least up to like level 6, gets you 200 at most, and that takes 8 hours.
Ew.
Yeah. And you use that
horrible.
You use that same magic to level up your characters, to level up your buildings.
And see, they're doing that just so that they can get more hours of playtime so that they can and see that's what sucks too. I hate that stuff. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know why they canceled Star Wars Commander. Because it was literally that, but like you can build your own Rebel or Empire base, and it was perfect. But the progress was amazing.
Yeah, no, that would have been great, but I don't know. I mean, we can't fix Disney as much as we wish we could. The company or the games they put out. And again, this is not us hating on. Oh, Disney has always been a terrible company. This is just. They've made a lot of missteps recently.
Recently, and it's not good.
No. So, I think any final thoughts before we end here, Jabin?
Disney be better.
Agreed. So, I think that's gonna do it for us tonight. Like I said, it's very late here. Everyone is still asleep in my house, I hope. So. We're going to end it here. Thank you guys so much. Like we said, we are going to really try and get it out weekly. If not, it is because Jabin's moving. Issues with recording sometimes happen. So if we may go 1 week without, you guys know why. So also, just a heads up, we did make an Instagram and a TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. We're gonna have more stuff coming out on those soon.
Yes.
Again, just been busy, but yeah, just follow those, and then you'll get little fun clips or like maybe behind the scenes stuff. You never know. So,
yeah, and it's the Instagram is just cross country comments. The TikTok is CC comments. So look it up. Go follow us. That's kind of where we'll be giving updates and, like you said, behind the scenes and type stuff like that. So I think that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see all of you next time. Bye, guys.
See ya.